The strangulation of the world economy, courtesy of the central banking system, the Fed, and the government. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, the 18th of December. And of course, we're rapidly reaching the Christmas time, and we'll be singing Christmas carols if we have any money left to do so. Well, I guess it doesn't cost anything to sing, but will we be giving gifts? Are there going to be gifts to be bought? We have a lot of issues out there that we seem to forget about, and for some reason we allow our great political system to steal from us at a more rapid pace each and every day. As we have seen the brand new spending bill come out to keep the government open for a week with all the sausage and bullshit that goes on with it, okay? And of course, again, this doesn't matter whether you happen to be a Democrat or a Republican. They're all stealing, okay? They are strangling the world economy. They are benefiting and pocketing the money themselves. They are making the rich much richer. And it seems to me that there was a whole campaign a couple of years ago about what's going on now. And compared to these guys, Donald Trump was an amateur, okay? But of course, as they continue to spend millions and millions of dollars trying to keep Donald Trump from running, they're taking the money directly from you, from me, and from every other citizen, because as they allow the borders to be flooded with illegal aliens and are opening up, and we're seeing about 1,000% increase on people crossing the border, to the ridiculous spending bills. And why is it that government doesn't have to live on a budget? I forgot. Someone's got to explain to me why government has no budget to live on and they can continue to spend like drunken sailors. Oh, that's because we, the taxpayer, continue to pay them off. All right. So, we've got this wonderful thing going on. And of course, we just had this week another CPI number. No, it was only 7.1%. Isn't that lovely? Okay, where's Stevie Wonder? He can sing this song, because that's the Americans. You're blind at watching what's going on. Okay, isn't she lovely? This ain't lovely. This is like a prison that is getting worse, and it's getting worse by the day. And the acceleration of the stealing from Americans continues to go faster and faster. And again, if you can't see it, I feel bad for you, because you're funding every one of these stupid ass programs that they do. You're funding and listening to these imbeciles that are running this country. And I don't care if you're talking about Joe Biden or Nancy Pelosi or Mitch McConnell. Every deal they make, it costs you and me money, okay? Because they are taking it directly from our pocket. If you believe that the inflation rate is truly 7.1%, you need to go see a doctor immediately. I just urge you to look at your own spending and see if that 7.1% is accurate. But according to sources that that report these things every year, Christmas dinner is going to be 16.4% higher this year. So how do we get to 7.1% inflation? Okay, or it is so ridiculous to even listen to these idiots spew the garbage of what these numbers are, that it's almost an embarrassment. Okay, because really what they're saying is, Americans, you are dumb. You're going to believe when we tell you that your inflation rate is 7.1%, you're going to believe it. Well, I can tell you that it's probably closer to 21.1%, not 7.1%. And of course, we continue to hear the bragging of the great Black Friday numbers. And boy, were they good. They were only a negative 5.5%, not a 2.2% increase. But actually, if you subtract the bullshit CPI number of 7.7 at the time, it gives you a negative 5.5%. So don't let the numbers or the idiots that report them fool you. Again, the easiest measure that you can take to check is to check your own finances, okay? Knowing that government does not keep in mind what real spending is. It's what the numbers are reported are based on bullshit and artificial crap and things that you're never going to buy. So we have the 1 week spending bill. I think it was 1.7 trillion. So what would you guess? And I don't have the answer to this, but I know there's a lot of stuff underneath there. But how much do you guess that we're being clipped for as Americans? And how much do you think we'll be clipped for when the banks go under once again? And if you don't think that they're going under again, they're going down for the count once again. Okay, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be next week, but they're dramatically over leveraged. The accounting system that they use is so ridiculous and so one-sided against us, okay, because we are the ones that will be on the hook when we find out what I've been saying all along, that they're over leveraged, they do not have the base capital, let alone the ability to pay it back. So, and of course, what did we tell you last week? That we've lost a couple of million jobs? Well, it came out during this week that the Philadelphia Fed said that we are down 1.2 million jobs in the second quarter. So that probably would make about 2 million for the year, okay? But yet, let's hear President Biden continue to cheer on how great the jobs numbers are. Let's have him continue and celebrate that now you got to work 3 jobs and not make as much as you made in 1 job when the economy was really humming, okay? And for all you climate changers and global warmers and all your bullshit, okay, and all your crying and shrying about the country's going to melt down and we're not going to have it, well, it's now that not only are we burning, not we, but the world is burning a world record amount of coal, but we are adding to the coal mines as fast as we can. There is an all-time high for a demand in coal. So for those that think that green energy is coming, well, you know, as I've said before, and I'll get into more of this in my commentary, but green energy ain't coming so fast. Okay, we aren't equipped, we aren't ready. It cannot be done, and I'll get into the reasons why a little bit later. But coal is back, and it is back in a big way. And if you think that that's going to help the environment, there is a pollution problem. But again, I don't think that it is as big a deal as we want to make it out to be. But it's for you greenies that believe in that crap, okay? And of course, but you do support President, whatever his name is, who he can't remember what his name is, okay? You do support that he is buying oil from Venezuela. Now, if you understand oil at all, the Venezuelan oil is the dirtiest, filthiest, heaviest oil there is. And how much do you think the refining of that oil adds to the carbon footprint that we're all so worried about? Okay, you know, the world, the Earth runs in cycles, okay, of about 80,000 years. I don't know where we are in the exact point, but I don't think it'll affect anybody who's listening to this today. But, you know, you've got a Federal Reserve that is going to continue to raise rates. We saw last week a 50 basis point rate hike. Okay, and what does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean anything except that we continue to climb higher. And what it does mean is that the 10-year notes are getting to 6%. And I would say there's a good chance I'll be there by the end of the first quarter. The Fed, I believe, will be much more aggressive even this year as they continue to raise rates into a recession. But of course, we changed the rules on what a recession is, so we're not calling this a recession yet, okay? And, but the U.S. PMI are screaming and telling you that we are in a recession. I am telling you, you are in a recession. And if you want the answer to whether or you are not in a recession or are in a recession, the best thing you can possibly do is check your own finances. Look at your bank account. Okay. Now, the other interesting thing here is from a market standpoint, it was funny. If I had told you 4 years ago or 3 years ago that the 10-year was going to get back to 4.5%, the markets would have tanked. People would have been buying those bonds. Well, now that they're there, people are not buying them. Okay. So all the people that were panicking and now stuck in the market are now trying to chase down the market that looks like it's ready to make a major turn. But I think that when you look at the spending, okay, what we have to pay for, when you look at the influx of illegal aliens that we have to pay for, remember, government makes no money. Government makes debt. Debt we get to pay. Government creates inflation. It creates a tax without a representation. And I do believe we went to war over that. And I don't know that we're going to war today, but at the continued pace, and if you continue to strip people of their value and their assets, you're going to go to another revolutionary war. In the meantime, right now, it looks like it's going to be a moderate Christmas. I don't think it's going to be a big time. I think a lot of people are well over leveraged to credit cards. I'm not going to talk about a number because the debt is at record high, but I will talk about the number of people that are leveraged to the hilt and are at limit on their credit cards. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, December the 18th. We're going to step out here for a break. We'll be back with our market update after the break. Bubba's Bottom Line. Well, kids, we are coming to Christmas, and of course, it's been, a little scary, I think, but again, that's up to you. Everybody lives their life. But at the end of the day, I want to remind you about our sponsors. As you know, I vet everything that I do, and if I recommend it, I use it. And, I have other brokers, but, the two brokers I really recommend for options and equities is Tradier. Listen, they're $10 a month, flat. I got in this argument on Friday with somebody. I go, why would I want to pay more? Well, are these trades too active? Is too much commission? I pay $10 a month. What do I care? But Tradier's going to have crypto soon. They're going to get great service. We can automate a lot of our products and some of that at no charge to you. Again, I have other brokers, but why wouldn't I not use $10 a month, save $100,000 a year in commissions? Check them out, try.tradier.com/Bubba. And that's scrolling on the side. In Capital Trading Group, look, I got many futures brokers, but I ended up with Capital Trading Group because A, they can do what I want. They give fair pricing for letter of direction trading to our members. They handle all of my money. They've got some great products, and they answer the phone. They got great service. So, check them out. info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. That's info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. They're also scrolling on the side. And our high school program, this was my last stitch effort to keep it operational. Unfortunately, in today's world, we can't get teachers that want to teach. They just want money. So we'll see what goes on here. But in the meantime, everything is, like I said, scrolling on the sides or on the bottom. We're going to get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and meet Todd Bubba Horwitz and give you our market update. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, December the 18th. And, well, what a week for markets. Oh, my goodness gracious. As they looked like they were going to explode higher and had some big upward momentum, and suddenly out came the floor, and down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Howard, if you remember Howard Cosell. But, look, we're still long the equity markets. Look, do I like being long the equity markets? Not necessarily. Okay. But we're still long. And, at the end of the day, we'll see. It is still a relatively bullish time of year. We've got but from a trading standpoint, our day trading is halted. Okay. Now, again, if something crazy happens, I'm on a webinar away, but basically, for my entire trading life, which is 44 years, I have not worked these next 2 weeks, and I don't expect to do it now either. Now, obviously, I have to update because there could be positions changing, But as far as being active, I'm not getting involved. Okay, and I do think, and I still believe, although we're long, and again, I give you full disclosure, I still believe we're going down 50 to 70%. Now, again, it doesn't mean it's tomorrow. It just means that's my overall outlook. Crude oil, which we're still short, it had a fairly reasonable, pop to the upside last week. Again, I do, another thing that I believe is that's going to go higher. I do believe that crude's going to see all-time highs. Now, I'm not going to say they're going to see it tomorrow, okay? But I do believe that in the cards with this horrible energy policy that we're forced to deal with, I think you're going to see dramatically higher prices. And crude was lower, for the week net. So, but at the end of the day, we're short natural gas, okay? And that gas has been kind of whippy, kind of popped up a little bit, but it's been kind of whippy. And look, I don't necessarily like to be on the short side, but again, I don't care. I want to be on the winning side. Okay, that's what I like. Bonds and notes, had a week. Now, we're long bonds and notes, and I think that they came to, in my opinion, they've reached the pinnacle of where they're going to go. I mean, they hit the resistance and they started to fail. Now they're still up there, and we've still done very well on the long side. But I think they're going down. Bond interest rates are going higher. That's my opinion, and I think these are going down. The dollar was lower, and the euro currency was higher, and of course we're short dollars and long euros. I don't think the euro's got much hope. Of course, it's looking like the dollar doesn't have much hope either with the mix of the new petro yuan. Saudi Arabia tries to stick it up our ass, and Bitcoin. Look, Bitcoin's between 15 and 18,000. That's what we've said all along. I like Bitcoin, but the trend is still lower, and we are still short. Gold and silver, they look okay. They got to some key levels and kind of failed. Are they going dramatically higher? I think the possibility exists. Okay, but as I said on Kitco, I don't know for sure, but I do think that there's a chance for a big run in gold. And in the copper markets, we're still long copper. Copper is once again stuck in this range, and I hate being long copper here. Why? Just because I don't see a demand for it. I don't see building. I don't think a lot of things going on. Dr. Copper, I think he's in trouble, and I did not mention platinum. Platinum's right at 1,000. Okay, I think it's going higher. Okay. Again, we don't trade it anymore because it's not liquid for us enough to trade. As we look into the grain markets, they continue to be stuck in these ranges, slightly to the lower side. I don't know. Look, I believe that in 2023 we're going to have a boom commodity market, and that includes the grains, or led by the grains. I think that a lot of this is kind of funds trying to take advantage of some things here. And I think what you're going to find is that there's going to be a big short covering, a big short squeeze, and we're going to see a run. Now we'll see. Again, we're short corn, we're short wheat, we're long soybeans right now. In the protein complex, hogs had a big pop on Friday, but I think they're all three, fats, feeders, and hogs are in a trading range. That's what I think. Look, I don't think they're going way up. I think they're going way down. We're long cattle, we're short hogs right now. I don't see much of anything here, okay? I don't see them able to go up big or down big. I don't think they can break out of the range. I think it's really just economy dependent. And cocoa, in the softs, we're still short, and it had lower week. Sugar was higher, we're long. Cotton was lower, we're short. OJ was higher, we're long. And coffee was moderate, and we're still short. But again, as I tell you, this is the most brutal time. It may be the most wonderful time of the year. It's the worst time of the year for traders. As far as traders are concerned, the year is over, and that's it, over and out. And if I'm giving you my advice, you can look, but you don't want to be overactive here. You can only get hurt. So again, remember, the key, we're in bowl season now, right? The key is defend your capital. This is Bubba's Bottom Line, top of a horror. We're going to step out here for our final break and come back with our commentary and, of course, our football picks, which were en fuego, on fire. Bubba's Bottom Line will be right back. Well, kids, again, I'm not going to go through the entire, sponsorship stuff, but again, you can check them out on the side. Capital Trading Group, Trade Your Brokerage, by far the best. I've got others, but those are great. And of course, our high school program, which we are giving it our last big effort, but it is, for something that I do for free, and it costs me money. And thank you to some of you Patreon people that help me, to pay for it. It's not fun anymore because they make it such a challenge to get. It's a challenge to give it away. Okay. In the meantime, you can see it on the bottom and you can see on the sides. And let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with my commentary and, of course, my ever so valuable football picks. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, the 18th of December. Christmas is next week. And in the meantime, so we were talking green energy. And, of course, obviously, it is very clear that we ain't never getting there anytime soon. But here's my problem, President Biden. Here's my problem, AOC, and all the rest of you jackasses. Okay. I have no problem if you want to get the green energy, whether I'm a climate believer or not, which I'm not. Okay, but I don't care. I understand, and if that is progress and that's what everybody wants, great. But can you please give me how much is it going to cost me to do it? What am I planning on having it in? And quit stealing my money. Quit taking out of my pocket for bullshit that when you're just taking mine and putting it into yours. I have seen no progress in climate change. I have seen, in fact, the opposite, with more coal being mined for, more coal being dug out of the ground, more coal being burnt around the globe, dirty oil from Venezuela. Okay, I have seen everything but climate change and green energy. Okay, you want to go to green energy? Okay, fine. Give me a plan. How much is it going to cost me? And quit screwing me out of my money with all your bullshit that doesn't mean anything yet, because you're not even on the drawing board yet of what you're going to do. Okay? So again, I don't believe in climate change, but if you believe in it and you want it, hey, I'm a citizen. I love this country, but I'm telling you what, we are digging a deeper and deeper hole as we continue to get the world economy gets strangled, and you continue to allow the governments to spend, and Americans and voters, it's up to you to put a stop to the bullshit. Bubba's Bottom Line, and of course, here is our football picks for today. We like the Chicago Bears, believe it or not, +9. Okay, we like the Jacksonville Jaguars to upset the Cowboy. Okay, and we do like the Denver Broncos to beat the poor Arizona Cardinals. In the meantime, everybody have a great week. Be careful out there. If I don't see you over the holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah. And as always, I thank you for attending and seeing Bubba's Bottom Line. We'll see you all next week, because there will be one. I'm not sure the date yet, but there will be one next week. In the meantime, have a great week, everybody. Be good, be careful.